Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I just moved into my senior year apartment in Clemson. I wanted to make a video to show you guys how I prepare for a new semester of college. If you've been putting off getting ready for school, if you don't know where to start, this is your chance. This is your chance. Go ahead and grab yourself a cold brew. Go ahead and get a shaken espresso, a latte, something. You know, having a nice little drink kind of makes you productive. So grab something and come with me and we are going to get ready for the semester together. And I'm just gonna go step by step on what I do to get organized and get ready. All right, now let's get into it. So one of the first things I like to do is get my schedule and then put my schedule into Google Calendar. Y'all, there's a whole wasp in my apartment. Okay, so I just logged into iRoar, which is like our school's registration website, and you can do all kinds of stuff on iRoar, but that's where our registration information is. Anyways, I have my classes pulled up. I just wanted to double check the times, and I also wanted to see what classroom these classes are being held in, so I can also put that in Google Calendar. Also, when you're putting your school schedule into Google Calendar, you have to make sure that you go to more options where it says does not repeat. Click that and do every week so that this repeats every Monday or whatever day you have it every week. Click save, and now it's added to my calendar every Monday. You'll then have that class in your calendar every Monday at that time. I'm going to add my entire schedule in here and I'll be right back. So now my schedule is in my Google Calendar. This way I always know where my classes are, what time they are, so I don't have to look at a paper schedule or continuously pull up iRoar for my schedule. If you have the Google Calendar app on your phone, which I do, it also sends you 10-minute reminders before an event starts, an event meaning your class, for example. So if you forget that you have class, it sends you a 10-minute reminder that, hey, your class starts in 10 minutes and this is where it's at. So I like using that, and just having all my events in one place is just super helpful. It's like a paper planner, but digital. I find that Google Calendar is just really good at keeping that all together. I also want to add that once I get all my syllabi for the school year, I will then add any due dates for assignments, quizzes, exams, whatever it is, into my Google Calendar so I do not forget. Now I keep looking up at this wasp, making sure it doesn't come for my neck. Anyways, now I'm going to go on Canvas and I'm going to download all my syllabi, and then it is really important for you to save your syllabi so you don't have to keep going back to Canvas and re-downloading it every time you need a question answered. Just go ahead before classes even start and save it to your files. So I do that with all my classes. After you save all the syllabi, go ahead and put all the dates for exams and quizzes into your Google Calendar like I just mentioned. Now, the thing about this though is that when you're preparing early like this, a lot of professors don't open up their Canvas pages until the very, very last minute. So it's kind of annoying if you like to prepare, because right now I only have 2 Canvas pages open, but I can still show y'all the gist of what I do. Let's just click this one, go to syllabus, and then they'll have a syllabus link. Save this to my files. Then I open up the file in my Files app. I don't know why this looks like this, all jumbled together. So we're just gonna scroll down until you find the information that states when exams are. Your syllabi will generally have an outline like this, and if it's not on the syllabus, it's usually on Canvas and the assignments page. Just go through all those assignments that are already posted and just add them to your calendar. Anyways, when professors actually like you, they will put them in the syllabus. Easy to find. So here we are, we have the course schedule, and so basically you're just gonna add the exams in. I really don't put in what we're learning each week in my calendar, because that's not really necessary. I just put in the exams. So we have 4 unit exams. I will put in this Kaplan testing, the final exam. And I will just skim through the syllabus for every class and add that to my calendar. I also like to put my breaks in my calendar. So as you can see, we have fall break and Thanksgiving break. I might just block those off in my calendar as well. Sometimes like the syllabi like pull up really weird when you try to download them on like an iPad or another device, but then they return to normal when you download them on a laptop or computer. So if that's the case for you, just try, like if your syllabus looks like this, try downloading it from the computer and then saving it on your computer. As long as you have it saved somewhere, it's fine. But as you can see, it looks a lot better on the computer. So we're gonna scroll back to the outline and we're gonna add it to the calendar. Some courses do not have a like downloadable link PDF to a syllabus, but they'll have all the assignments for the class listed like this as assignments. What you would do then is just put in the due dates, just like this, into your calendar. So Friday, August 26th, I'll have these things due. The 31st, I'll have like IV fluid calculations due, and I would just also add that to my calendar. But also keep in mind that things change during the semester. So if your professor updates a date or changes the date of an exam, a homework assignment, anything, make sure that you stay up to date with that. Also, when it comes to assignments that I'm putting in my calendar, this is not included for exams because exams are always at a specific time of the day, unless you have one that is open all day or something like that. But when it comes to assignments, I do not set a time for that. I choose all day on the specific day. For example, IV calculations are due August 31st for me at midnight. So I will choose the all day option, click save, and it's in my calendar like this. I also try to clean out my notability notes after every semester so I'm not overwhelmed with notes from previous semesters. So we're just gonna go ahead and create a new class. We're gonna click this little plus button in the corner and we're gonna click dividers. The divider section is where you put the actual course name and the subject is where you put each unit. So I'm gonna click divider and I'm gonna put healthcare genetics as one of my classes. So for my first day of classes, I don't have to worry about creating a divider for each class. It's already there and I can just start adding subjects to each class. So we have healthcare genetics, but I'm just gonna continue creating dividers for each class. Lastly, I added research and nursing. So once all my classes are created in Notability, I will then close this out. But if you do have like GoodNotes or any other note-taking app, just make sure you clean out your classes in between each semester so it's not overwhelming. I also, for the classes that I think were actually important, I will upload the notes to Google Drive to keep them just in case I need them later. So this next step is very much nursing student related, but we usually have to submit a ton of paperwork before we can begin clinical for the semester. Whatever your school uses, my school uses My Clinical Exchange. Just go ahead and log in and make sure everything is updated. You do not want to be held back from clinical because you forgot to upload your shot record or whatever it is that you still need. So as you can see, my stuff has been accepted and there's nothing else I need to submit in order to be cleared for clinical. This is an example of everything they need like per semester of nursing school. All of these have the thumbs up, which means I'm good to go and I can begin orientation at the hospital. We need a negative background check, which we do have to pay for. Last 5 digits of our social, liability insurance, TB test. These are all vaccines that need to be updated, including the COVID one. And then we also need to have basic life support or CPR training. If you have My Clinical Exchange, make sure all of these are thumbs up and not a red thumbs down. But if you have any other like website that your school uses, just make sure that you are cleared. This next step is extra. You don't have to do this. I feel like when your school supplies and your school materials are like aesthetically pleasing, it makes you happier to do schoolwork. I don't know. So you can rename these. The titles are usually just a bunch of jumbled up letters and numbers. So you can rename these and then you can also change the color. But sometimes professors add these like images that just ruin it, but I'm going to show you guys how you can make your Canvas dashboard look a little better. So we're going to start by renaming. So we're going to go to the little 3 dots. Since I have so many med-surg classes, all these numbers and stuff can be confusing. So I'm just going to nickname this med-surg 2 lecture. And then as for the colors, you're going to look up HTML color codes on Google. Get here. And once you get to the top website, use this bar to scroll to get whatever color you want. And then once you scroll with the bar, you can use this little dot to scroll in whatever direction you want to go in. So I want like a lighter pink. So we're going to get that code, which is FFDA2, copy and paste it into Canvas, where it has this little number. Copy and paste that, click apply. But when you refresh the page, it'll turn pink, which it does look slightly better pink than it did green, but this is why I don't like when professors use pictures for the icons. You know how some professors just use a color? I prefer that because then you can just change it, but when they use an image, yeah, it doesn't really look right. But it is pink, it looks slightly better. And I'm just gonna do the same thing with this class. As you can see, I just updated it. It looks kind of black on camera, but it's brown, and I renamed it MedSurg 2 SimLab. And as my classes pop up, I will do that with the rest of them just so they look slightly better. I also want to point out that a lot of professors require you to look through the syllabus and sign your signature at the bottom saying that you understand the expectations of the class, and they usually have you turn it into Canvas. So go ahead and turn that in before classes even start if it's available, just so you don't forget. A lot of times professors will use that as like an additional point in the grading system. It's an easy points to get. Even if they don't give you extra points for doing that, just make sure you have it turned in, and just go through your assignments page like right here, and just make sure you don't have anything due before the first day of classes or within the first day or 2 of class. Like as you can see, this learning style quiz is due before the first day of school. This is due the first day of school. This is the day after, so just make sure you are looking through these and making sure you're not forgetting something. Another thing I do is I go through my classes and I look through the required materials. Now, don't go out here and buy all of the required $300 textbooks before classes even start, and then the professor is like, oh yeah, by the way, we don't use any of those. Some places allow you to return the books, but it's just a hassle. Like, just wait it out. This is the one thing I would say wait it out for. I literally don't even want to buy textbooks anymore because I haven't used textbooks. Like, I bought textbooks last semester and did not look in a single one. And it's just really annoying because textbooks are expensive. Even if you get them like an ebook or something cheaper, it's just money that you could have saved. So just wait it out. Don't buy all your textbooks immediately. If you have an access code, you are going to need to use the access code during the school year. So that is one thing I would say. Buy early and get set up early. But as for textbooks, I would not. But if it's an access code where you have to do assignments and there's an ebook attached to it, like go ahead because you kind of have to. Like for example, for this med-surg lecture, we have to get course point, and there's an ebook in there, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there's an ebook in there, but we use it for assignments, so it's not like I can really get around buying that. Go ahead and buy stuff like that early. But as for random textbooks for classes, just wait and see if you really need that book or not. As for access codes, I would strongly suggest to go ahead and get those started and set up early because all kinds of technical difficulties can occur, and they're kind of just really annoying to set up. So I would recommend you do it while it's still summer for you and you're just trying to get things set up for the school year rather than trying to get this set up when your professor signs it the day after the first day of class. Just go ahead and look through the instructions and get this set up early. Professors will also include the required course materials on the syllabus. As you can see, a lot of professors will say in the syllabus, these textbooks are necessary, and a lot of times you won't even touch the textbook all year. But just take a look at the required materials because sometimes they aren't textbooks, sometimes there are other things you need for the course. So just take a look at that and get yourself ready for that. Another thing I do is I clean out my backpack because this poor thing has not been touched since spring 2022. This thing needs to be cleaned out, organized, all the above. So I would say clean out your backpack. and get a fresh start for the school year, throw away things that you don't use anymore, and just reorganize everything. This isn't like 100% school related, but I like to create a grocery list, and I like to meal prep and meal plan on my planner app, and this just saves time when you're in school. Okay, so I just found a meal plan in my planner from January 2022. I'll have BLD, so breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I feel like having everything written out just helps, so I'm not like, oh, I don't know what to eat for dinner, but I also have to worry about like 16 assignments that are due tonight, you know, that kind of thing. And also, when you meal plan like this, it helps you create a grocery list. It helps you not just buy random groceries. It helps you build recipes off of what you already have on your grocery list. So it's very helpful in those ways. So I do like to do that before school starts. Here is an example of how I make my grocery list. So as you can see, this is my first shopping list for spring semester. I go to Aldi, but you know how you can't always find everything at Aldi? So when I go grocery shopping, I usually go to 2 different stores. So in parentheses, I'll have whatever store I will get this at, and then I'll have the item. I will also include the price of each item, which helps with budgeting, because then I can put the total at the end of my grocery list. And I also separate these by week. And I also have the amount of money budgeted for each week, and then I have the amount for the whole month. And if you just want to like screenshot or look through this is how I make my grocery list and stay on a budget. But yeah, that is basically it. I find that I'm basically paperless now, and like all my preparing is on my iPad, on my laptop. I really don't use paper planners or 5 subject notebooks or 1 subject note or like any paper at all now. But if you are still like a paper queen or king, just do the same things, but instead of adding things into your Google Calendar, add them into your paper planner. It's the same thing. I used to do the same thing. I only recently switched over to paperless like my junior year. Before that, my sophomore year, freshman year of college, I was strictly on paper. So this is basically like my paperless way of how I get ready for a new semester. But I hope everyone has enjoyed, and if you have alternate ways like using paper, just use my same methods, but just put it on paper. It's still very valid. And anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys sat with me and prepared for your semester along with me, or got some ideas on how you can organize. And I will catch you guys in the next video.